Hello, it's me. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. The 22nd day of July, we celebrate the feast of St. Mary Magdalene. Mary Magdalene, a friend of Jesus, a disciple of Jesus, and really an apostle of Jesus. The church really holds her in high regard to the point that Mary, on this day, Mary Magdalene, we celebrate her feast. She has her own preface to the Eucharistic prayer. We even speak or sing the Gloria on this her feast. So she is indeed special. Mary, and why not? Mary was a friend of Jesus. He cured her of possessions, whatever possessions she had. Of course, remember that we don't confuse her with the sinful woman in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 7. We no longer think it's the same that woman is Mary Magdalene. Mary was cured of her possessions, and then her possessions, whatever these things that she had in her, whatever evil spirits or demons. But yet she accompanied Jesus. She followed Jesus as a disciple and was one of those women, again in the Gospel of Luke, that we hear who cared for, provided for the Lord and the 12, the disciples of Jesus. And of course we know that Mary, from the Gospel we read that she was there at the crucifixion. Mary Magdalene, along with our Blessed Mother Mary, and also cousin Mary, cousin of Mary, wife of Clopas, and of course John, the disciple. And then she was there at the burial. And of course, she went to look for him after he was buried. And of course, he appeared to her. According to the Gospel of Mark, he appeared to her first. And of course, she's referred to as an apostle to the apostles because the Lord sends her, asks her to go tell the other disciples, his brothers, that indeed he has risen from the dead. Today in the gospel that is given for this feast, we hear Mary. Mary doesn't recognize the Lord when he encounters him close to the tomb in the garden. And even when Jesus at first says woman, Mary does not recognize him. But eventually Jesus calls her by name, Mary. Then she recognizes him. Maybe it's the voice of the Lord that she recognized and remembered the love that existed between these two great friends. We tend to say to have Jesus as a friend and maybe make a friendship with the Lord. But I think the Lord also wants us to be friends. Beyond asking him to be our friend, to draw his friendship to us, I think he desires our friendship. Just like Mary Magdalene provided to Jesus. He desires that friendship, a friendship that is loyal and there with the Lord. He's with us, but he too, I think, wants us to be friends. And when I think of that call, Jesus calling Mary by name and she recognizing him, there are times when I'm kind of, once in a blue moon, I'll call my own name, calling myself in order to kind of resituate me back where I need to be. And maybe that's what happened to Mary. She recognized him and recognized the teacher that he was. But Jesus wants us to be friends. And beyond that, like Mary Magdalene, to be such friends that we can carry him with us to tell others the good news of his life, of his love that he gives to us. So like Mary Magdalene, we are invited not just to seek the Lord's friendship for our own, but also to be friends with the Lord, but friends whom he can count on to continue spreading the message, to be sent to spread the good news, to spread the love that he has given to us. And so, friends, brothers and sisters, love because you are loved. Amen.